Hey guys, Auspicious Aussie here, and welcome to episode 33 of the Berlin Dynamo series. Now, as you can tell by the title, a lot has changed, and things are definitely not as good as they were last episode. Um, the transfer window is now shut. It shut a couple of days ago, and we find ourselves in a bit of a dilemma. I'll show you the league table first of all. Move my base cam down the bottom for you there. So we're currently in 6th place. We're currently on 40 points. We're 2 points away from the playoff promotion spot, and we're 5 points away from the closest automatic promotion spot that our rivals Chemnitzer currently sit in. It's also worth mentioning that the first place one, Ingolstadt, I mentioned them in the previous 2 episodes, just how good they actually are at the moment. They're 9 points clear of us at the moment, so it's looking less likely that we'll claim the first automatic promotion spot. Ingolstadt are more or less competing with Dortmund too at the top of the league, whereas we're more competing for that second automatic spot and the playoff as well. And surprise, surprise, Hansa Rostock have actually come up the league, and they're currently in that playoff spot themselves. So we actually got them a little bit down the line, which is good to see. So that'll be a massive game. However, let's go into the transfers because a lot has changed. A lot has changed. Transfers out. We'll start with those. Jude Soonsep Bell. Relegation release clause, 1.1 million. Hertha Berlin, a Berlin rival, has stolen our best player away for peanuts. So his normal release clause was 5 million. And then obviously that relegation release clause, I thought 1.1 was actually a decently high release clause. But yeah, I mean, his 16 league goals, 7 assists, 7.56 average rating for most of this season. The 8 player of the match awards as well led to Hertha Berlin wanting him for their 2 Bundesliga campaign, or for the rest of it anyway. He's getting 20,000 per week on a 3-year contract. So putting that into perspective, I think we were paying him 5.75 or 6.25, somewhere around there. And there you go. I'm going to add him back to the shortlist, because hopefully we might be able to pick him back up on a free in the near future. I like the storyline that it also creates. You know, Hertha Berlin, they're our rivals, geographically, and they're stealing our best player because they can, because they've got the finances to do so. Again, it's 1.1 million into the club, which is a good thing. However, I started to freak out a little bit when this happened. I was like, and this is sort of when the results started turning bad, the last 2 games, or 2 games before the last game, if that makes sense. Anyway, so obviously that happened. I immediately went to my shortlist, found a couple of players. So the first of which was this guy, Dimitri Shiloh. Not exactly a striker. However, he's a very good centre-back that can play right-back as well. And basically what I've done, because we have enough good centre-backs at the moment, I've decided to start playing him as the right wing-back. But as you can see, he's way more suited to a defensive wing-back. So I've actually changed the tactic. And I've tweaked a few things in there to try and stem the goals, because once again, and I'll go into this when I show you the fixtures, shots on target for goals ratio is absolutely ridiculous. It's the worst I've ever had on Football Manager, and I just feel like it's unrealistic. It's realistic for maybe 1 or 2 games a season, but for it to constantly keep happening and happening, again, some of the blame's probably on me for the tactic. I probably should have tweaked it a little bit earlier in the season. I've tweaked it now. I'm hoping it's a little bit more defensively solid. We're also going to start tackling people harder. Hopefully that'll sort of prevent them from causing us as much damage. But I like the look of him. He was on my shortlist for quite a while. 20-year-old Belarusian, 13 caps for the national team, and he's also got himself a goal. Big wages, but I knew it was going to be big wages. And again, we got him on a 3.5-year contract, so pretty much 3 years. Also worth mentioning, we gave him a 20 million release clause. No relegation release clause in there either. So if they want him, they're going to have to pay 20 mil. Or they'll pay me 5 and the board will just accept it because that's what they do apparently. And yeah, he was signed from Nepa Mogilev, one of the Belarusian clubs. I think they're the second best team in Belarus behind Bate. I'm not sure. Anyway, next player we signed, Kovacs, a striker, 21-year-old Hungarian on loan from Ajax. Only 800 per week wages. Hopefully, he's the like-for-like replacement for Soonsup Bell. He actually scored on debut, as you can see there, and pretty much won us the game. So, like him, lacking a little bit of composure, but everything else is really good. Good pace, good acceleration and agility. And obviously good finishing. He's not too small either. 182, 14 heading on him as well. I like him. And then the next player, Gaetan Yell. Gel? Go with Yell. Yell is... He's a weird player. So I signed him because obviously I wanted a striker. And we've signed him to an actual contract. But he can also play centre mid, and he can play sort of box to box, I would say relatively well. The positioning is the only thing that sort of lets him down. Tackling maybe a little bit as well, but I mean, a box to box going forward, we don't really have a solid attacking option for our box to box midfielder. I feel like he's going to probably play a lot. I'm going to start him in this first game against Bielefeld. But he also looks like he could play the deep lying forward role pretty well. Got a little bit of strength about him. Everything there is pretty good. I mean, the vision's probably the only downside. But yeah, good passing, good first touch technique. I think he looks pretty good. He can play both those positions. So I think at the moment we need some real versatility. And he works out pretty well. Only 2.3k on the wages. And as you can see, no release clauses. Very happy to do that. And that lets us, I guess, control our fate, potentially, a little bit more. Anyway, all right, recent fixtures. Last episode was Grua Firth, the 5-0 victory, the 3-1 loss to Bayern 2, and then the 5-2 loss to RWSN. God, that was a horrible fixture. I did turn the computer off. I think I played the Meppen game and then I turned the computer off. But we did bounce back, 3-2 victory against Meppen. They were the last place team. I was fine with them scoring. As you can see, Ade, Soonsup Bell getting our first 2 goals. They got 2 back, and then Soonsup Bell, once again, the saviour. Prior to him leaving the club, getting us all 3 points there. We then played a few friendlies, so we had this Gladbach one set up from the Ade transfer. I think we got about 130,000 from this one as well. Actually beat them 3-1. Ade scoring 2 goals against his new club. Then could only manage a 0-0 draw against Hamburg and Wehen Wiesbaden. They actually managed to beat us there. Anyway, we returned back to league action. And let me show you this game. Stuttgart 2. 4 shots on target for Stuttgart 2. 3 goals. Krolo with a 5.9. Probably not really his fault. Ivanovic and Ranjo played terribly. And essentially, I was starting to recognise from this game that our centre-backs weren't shutting strikers and attacking wingers down quick enough, which was causing shots or these shots to be in better positions for their attackers, which led to the goals. I was recognizing that, tried to change something in the next game. It worked. We got a clean sheet against Gladbach 2. However, we got very lucky. Hendricks had a goal disallowed. Again, didn't really deserve a goal. Only had 2 shots on target ourselves. And luckily I've got to say, I was absolutely livid when we gave away this penalty. And then I was extremely happy when they missed. So, yeah, not a great game. They had 4 shots on target. Maybe they should have probably deserved to get one of them. Worth mentioning, Theda picked up an injury in that one. I think he was going to be out for 5 weeks. 7 weeks. 7 weeks. So keep that in your mind. 7 weeks injury for Theda, who I don't really know who's first team and who's not. Anyway, next game. Chemnitsa, team that currently sit in that automatic promotion spot. Massive game. And we lose 2-1 at home as well. And just have a look. Have a look at those shots on target for me. 2. How many goals do they score? 2. Again, livid. They get their 2 goals before halftime. We get a goal back through a day, a minute after their second. A day and Hendricks played really well together. This was just after Sunset Bell left and just prior to all 3 of those new signings coming in. Krolo with a 6.4, Naranjo 6.4, Ivanovic 6.5, Prevel 6.5. So there we go. That was when I changed the tactic. So I'll run you over the tactic in a second when I show you the lineup. But we did actually bounce back after changing the tactic. We versed 19th place Cologne 2. And as you can see, we managed to get a 1-0 victory. A day had a goal ruled out. And then Kovacs, like I said, on debut, getting himself a goal. However, if you look at the defense, this is where things have turned around. Everyone played really well. Goalkeeper. Hottie. Who's Hottie? Hottie is a 17-year-old new gen on a youth contract, 1.5 star potential. He doesn't even have a star for his current ability. Prolo picked up an injury as well for 2 weeks. So he was out for this game against Cologne, and he's going to be out again today against Bielefeld. So we're going with a 17-year-old in goals that has absolutely no right to be starting games for us at the moment. But yeah, 7.3 for him. Didn't concede a goal, kept a clean sheet on his debut. Fair play to the lad. All right, let me show you the tactic. Like I said, it hasn't really changed too much. We're still positive. Everything's exactly the same, except the wing back on the right, now defensive. Thought to myself, we've got an attacking winger who has a player instruction of get further forward. So he's going to be up the pitch no matter what. What I don't need is for my wing back on this side to then bomb up and try and even overlap him, which potentially could happen. I want Shiloh to sit back. If he gets it, he'll bang in a little cross from sort of this position on the field instead of getting down here in the byline where Mbala should be. He should be beating players down there. Anyway, left side, I changed the automatic player instruction to just support. Hopefully, he'll still get back enough with Pajovic to defend on this left-hand side, but it'll also mean that he can actually get forward when Pajovic inverts and starts going inside. That's the game plan anyway. As far as play roles, he's got get further forward, which I don't really like. It's part of the support, I guess, player instruction. Player instruction. What is it called? Role, I guess. Yeah, role. Everything else exactly the same except for the centre backs. I've done close down more and Mark tighter, so he's got it there, and then we just got Mark tighter for Ivanovic as well. And I also put that for the box-to-box midfielder as well. Tackle harder, mark tighter, and same thing for Jublovic. So I'm hoping that all these players getting back is going to help the defense. Everyone's going to get tighter. They're going to mark their players better. Therefore, less shots will hopefully get on target, and it will just be a little bit more solid defensively. That's the thought process. It worked in that first game, albeit 19th placed. Bielefeld, it's going to be a big test today. And again, goalkeeper, a little bit concerning. I wonder if I could play. Nah, I don't think I could play Krolo. He'll be available for that second game. Also hoping that this helps Prevel a little bit more. With him getting forward, he can actually go forward now and hopefully, cause some damage. And like I said, Shiloh, he's going to be playing as the right wing back. Yell? Or Gel? We'll go with Gel, because he is Belgian. I don't think I mentioned that, but 20-year-old Belgian. We'll go for Gel. He's going to be starting as our box-to-box. I'm still starting Pajovic on the left-hand side. I don't really want to. I think I'd rather start Hendricks, but at the moment, they're both playing as poorly as each other. And then I've also promised to give Pajovic more game time, so I'll just go for Pajovic at this point. Kovacs is going to start as the advanced forward, purely for the fact that Day has scored 11 goals from the deep line position. So we'll do that. Again, if we're playing Gel at midfield, he's not really going to care about not playing up front because he's our player. In order to get Kovacs in, I had to give him important playing time for the loan. So he does need to be playing, or at least starting these games. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I don't know what Gel's doing there. That's a weird one. But I'm really hoping that these changes are actually going to make us a bit more solid defensively. Once this highlight finishes and they score straight away, that's not ideal. It's actually infuriating. I want to check something else because I think I might have actually dropped the line a little bit deeper as well. Let me have a look here. Yeah, I did. So I changed the line there. I've got it really low. I'm wondering if I should push it up further and just do the opposite like that. Keep it higher, keep it tighter. We'll go for it. I might even encourage the boys. We'll see what happens with the corner here. Kovacs, Prevel. Oh, somehow it hasn't gone in the back of the net. All right, I'll quickly encourage him there. We're already 20 minutes in. I mean, part of me thinks that maybe I have to just put this game down as a loss, as Day's getting in the box there. Does look like it was saved by their keeper, but just having Hottie in goals is just a young goalkeeper. It makes me very nervous. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't manage to get a win here today in this first game. We are attacking pretty well though. Pajovic, Jublovic. Interesting cross. Kovacs, back post. Is he offside? Yes, he is. This is what I'm talking about. Their players, I don't think I've seen it, like, not just this team in Bielefeld, but just in general, I don't think I've seen another team's goal be ruled offside in a long time. We've had a lot of disallowed goals recently, but other teams, hasn't happened in ages. I might be throwing a bit of a conspiracy out there, but it's so frustrating. Going to take tackle harder off for both of these two, both fullbacks. Last thing we need is a red card for one of them. Bielefeld coming forward again. Luckily, we blocked that, so it doesn't even have to be saved by the goalkeeper. I might even do a substitution here. Let's do it nice and early. Let's go Hendricks for Pajovic, and then Garcia for a day. And then I'm going to go with Gel up top as the deep lying forward. I like that move. I don't like the fact that Mbala is not playing well. He's just recently come back from injury as well. Come on, boys. Win back possession. Let's go on the attack. Good win from Gel. Kovacs. Oh, we take the long range shot. Is that something I can turn off in the tactics? Let me have a look. I mean, shoot on sight is not turned on. Do I go work ball into box? It might be worth going ball into the box instead of early crosses. We'll go with that instead. Let me do that. I want to see if that changes anything. Again, we're testing the tactic. I do this off camera sometimes. I thought it had maybe solidified the defense up a little bit more. That one right there, that's marking tighter. That goal was from marking tighter, I believe. Naranjo was trying to mark his defender, got turned, and got absolutely skinned there. That was an interesting one. And again, 2 shots on target for 2 goals. I mean, it's the same old, really. Yeah, that's going to be the problem with having this high defensive line. They're then just going to start putting balls into the back of us. I can't win at the moment. I just can't win. Hendricks gets himself a goal. Okay. I'm going to demand more, even after that goal. Can we get another equaliser? We need one. We need one to keep this season alive. We're falling further and further behind. Obviously, the Soonsup Bell setback, not exactly ideal either. I do feel like we've replaced him pretty well, because he was on a big wage. As a result, we've essentially got 3 players in. More or less 2 strikers. In saying that, Kovacs has now picked up a knock as well. Gel! I thought he was about to get a header on target. Hendricks. Kovacs! Get in there! Yes! We get the equaliser. Oh, man. We needed that. We needed that big time. Alright, we'll take the point. Man, at least we're going to actually have a goalkeeper back that can do something in goals. Alright. It's not the worst result in the world, because Rostock, they lost their game. So we'll take it for what it is. We've actually got an easier game up next as well. Kovacs is going to be there for it. Gel makes his debut as well, which is good. Hendricks, big game from Hendricks. I'll actually give him the start in the next one, which I'll join you guys back for in just a second. All right, so I pretty much implemented all the changes I made during that game. I think it's just going to make us a little bit better. So I pushed the line up. Nothing changed here in transition. And then in possession, I just put work ball in the box. I just don't want us to be shooting outside the box too much. I'd rather, I don't know, just try and get better opportunities. Hopefully that'll happen. I also changed that. I forgot to mention that. I changed from slightly shorter passing to slightly more direct, which I think hopefully might make a difference for us. Thinking now maybe the passing might be better, a better option for trying to work the ball into the box. We'll use this game as a bit of a test. Krolo does return a goal. Other change, Hendricks comes in. Pajovic does have an injury. And then Senhaji picked up an illness for 2 weeks as well. So we're without him. Doesn't really matter. We got Garcia in there anyway, and Gel. He actually played pretty well. It says a 6.6, but I think he looked good out there, and he probably nearly could have scored, to be honest. So we'll give him another opportunity. Again, he is that versatile player. So I'm going to tell the boys to go out and have fun. I mean, I've been trying to say to them that I expect wins, and it just hasn't been working very well. So I won't go for that strategy anymore. We have not started the better of the two teams, though. Should be said. Luckily for us, that one goes over. Yeah, I think I want to change things already. I'll see what happens here, but yeah. Interesting. That's going to be the goalkeepers. I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go back to that shorter passing. I think it's probably just going to work better with what we're trying to do. Maybe even lowering our tempo. That might be part of the reason why we're giving the ball away quite often. I feel like with shorter passing, you need the tempo to be a bit lower. Kovacs is offside there. I haven't had a shot on target yet, so I might even encourage the boys. They've got a corner. It's going to go for a penalty. And Gel has given away the penalty. We can't do things the easy way. Crollo with a massive save for that penalty. Wow. It's also worth mentioning that they've got 5 at the back, so it's going to be very hard for us to break them down. I wonder if it's a good idea to just go attacking. They haven't really done anything in that first half. And honestly, that kind of angers me a little bit. Jublovic. A good save by their keeper. Very frustrating for us. We do have a corner though. Jublovic into the box. Going to be their keepers again. Super frustrating. Okay. Sandhausen, they're actually playing pretty well. I mean, I'm not really proud of the team's efforts. I also need to ease my fullbacks off again, as they will more than likely pick up a second yellow card if I leave that on. Let me try and tweak something again. Let's lower that tempo. It's going to put on the middle. Go middle. I just want to see what happens. I want to see if we get a bit more possession of the ball. Theoretically, we should. Albeit we've only really got 2 centre midfielders. Sandhausen with another corner. Very dangerous. Luckily for us, that shot goes wide. I'm going to encourage the boys again. Try and get them fired up so they'll do something. Revel with a throw-in. The Gel. Revel again. Mbala at the back post, and he goes in. Oh, against the run of play. Mbala. Wouldn't expect him to score a headed goal at the back post. But somehow he puts it in the back of the net. Pretty sure he's only short as well. And for once, we're the jammy team as Gel. He's picked up an injury. It's frustrating. Hoping that's not a too serious injury for him. Anyway, we've got a like replacement for Garcia. I think they're sort of just different types of players. We get a penalty though. Hendricks brought down in the box. Can we please score our penalty? Who's it going to be? Jublovic? It is Jublovic. And he does score it. We're 2-0 up, 86th minute. And we're actually in half-decent form. We're actually in half-decent form. Sandhausen with another corner. Cleared away. thought Kovacs was about to give a penalty away there. I was going to say we kept a clean sheet. 90th minute goal for Sandhausen. All right. Got another highlight. I don't like that there's another highlight. Unless we score from it. Garcia, Kovacs. Penalty again. All right. Can we score this one to give us another 2-goal lead? We've gotten very lucky with 2 penalties. Jublovic, and he puts it straight down the middle. 3-1 to Berlin Dynamo. Ooh, and I can breathe a sigh of relief. I still don't know if it's the tactic or not. All I know is we've actually played better since I made these changes again. It's like, do I need to make these changes? See, like, they're on the counter-attack now, which is a little bit frustrating. I mean, it turned into nothing, but I feel like better teams are going to take advantage of that. Also, 6.4 for Kovacs and a 6.4 for Hendricks. They both won penalties. Surely that's got to count for something. That's a little bit harsh. Anyway, we're still in the fight. 1 point behind Rostock for that playoff promotion spot. Chemnitz, we're 4 points behind. And they do actually have a game in hand. So that could go up to 7 points for the automatic spot. Luckily, Gel's injuries very short. Jublovic with the double penalty, adding to his goal tally. And yeah, we move on. We still only scored 1 goal from open play. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change it to that. And I'm going to do a little bit more testing. So I'm thinking overlapping on the right with this instruction here, probably not the smartest thing to do, considering we've now got a wing back on defend. So I'm thinking about changing that as well and getting rid of that and then focusing play down the right-hand side as well. I'm thinking of doing that because it will take advantage of Mbala a little bit more. And in saying that, I might even give him... He does have dribble more, which I like. He's got good dribbling, really good speed, and, very good first touch and stuff as well. His finishing's terrible, but hopefully everything else will lead him getting into better positions to get more crosses in to both of our strikers. Something to think about. Something for me to test. I am very happy with the way things are at the moment, though. I think we at least look a little bit more solid. Albeit we conceded 2 goals against Bielefeld. Conceded another goal there. I mean, the 2 against Bielefeld, we had a youth team goalkeeper, so I won't judge that one too harshly. But 1860 Munich, I mean, they're not playing very well at the moment. They're in the relegation zone. But it will be a good test. A good test. We've actually lost our last 2 games against them. So, yeah, this one will be interesting. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the episode. We actually went unbeaten this episode. I think that's happened for a little while. You can smash a like, it'd be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're a new viewer. And apart from that, as always, take it easy. Goodbye.